Generic greetings, and welcome back to the final episode of this Prison Architect series. We can call it the Update 12 Prison, I guess. Now, what I want to do in this video is a couple of things. Firstly, I want to go through and talk about the processes involved of planning and building and all the things that went quite well or not so well, and the problems involved, and what we've went through to expand it, and things like that. Do a bit of a retrospective, I guess. And then we'll do a bit of the old ultraviolence. So we've actually got a mod on here where we can arm everyone and actually have them riot and things like that. So it's going to be under the most extreme test conditions possible. I was going to do an escape and I was going to do a 3D tour, but I'm not going to bother because, quite frankly, they'll be pretty much the same as the last one we did before the expansion. The escape would not be much different because there's nothing new really added. The only thing added is the workshop that was of note. But we can't steal tools out of there to escape because we've got metal detectors there. So I've already covered my, I've already built in the failure state there. Also, I can't really get into the top anywhere up here because this is all staff only anyway. So or death row. So it's just not going to happen. There's no reason to do an escape. Also in 3D mode, the only thing that's new, as far as I can tell, is the workshop saw and the workshop presses, as well as the associated metal components and things like that, like these stacks of license plates. So they're in 3D, but it's not enough to do a video on. So we'll just go through and we'll just explain exactly what we did. So in terms of the first planning bit, we started off with that. This is the overall start map bit that we start off with, and then we, instead of going from the center, like what I normally do is measure the center, 44, bump there's the middle, and then build it sort of up and down here. So there's cell blocks, and then whatever over this side, and have it symmetrical. We decided to do it so it was going to be right at the bottom, then build up, because I thought that was going to be different. And we have it so that the reception is off to one side, and then you go down into here, and then you've got the canteen very centralized, because the original idea was to expand on something we did in a previous series where we have a lot of armed guards walking around, and also guard towers was the main thing, where they would look down a row. Now, when I first did it in the probably last series or whatever, it worked, but it was very inefficient because you had like 3 sniper towers on each side, and even then it would only cover, I think, a smaller area than what it's covering now. So this sniper tower here has currently got this entire row left and to the right, but in the other video it would have the guard tower there, guard tower there, and guard tower there, and it would only cover this section here. So it was very inefficient. So we wanted to expand on that idea, and the way we did it is, well, as you can see, we have guard towers that go left and right, or have a line of sight down left and right, as well as the central row. So we have like the main row down the center, and then it splits off to these cell blocks, which have very basic stuff in it. So you've got your bed, your toilet, and then the radiator, because this is outside, so this will be freezing. In fact, it's currently 10 degrees, so it's actually not that cold. But if you go over to the logistics temperature, you can see that these are nice and toasty warm, 20 degrees C, whereas outside it's a lot colder. So that's what we did here. We originally were going to expand them further along to this side, but then we needed somewhere to have the shower, which is why we put the shower in here. But that's worked very, very well, because on a morning, they'll come out, go along, and into the shower, and then there's more than enough to have a shower there, which is fine. Obviously, we did have a problem with the heating, because we were originally going to put the pipework on the left and the right, so we're talking over here and over here, but then that would mean double the amount of water boilers, so it's a lot of wastage. So I ended up putting in the middle open. I know that was a bit of a point of contention, but either way, we've got to put it in, and it's worked very, very well. Nobody's tried to punch them or kick them or steal them, which is, you know, always an advantage. Obviously, they're not going to do that, mainly because of the snipers that are here. So yeah, down the bottom you can see we've got a lot of the utility stuff. So we've got all of our staff room, we've got all of the offices, we've got security, armory, all of the dog stuff there where the kennel is, and then we've got the staff canteen, which obviously has been massively improved in this build of the game. So in the previous build, in the previous update, it was fairly nightmarish. There was a couple of bugs that would pretty much give you an end. It would pretty much end the game. It just, you wouldn't be able to play anymore. It was the stacks of food trays that would just disappear from the staff canteen, then they couldn't use it, and yeah, so we've managed to fix that. Well, they've fixed it. The Interversion have fixed that by going through and, well, just sorting it out. So as you can see, we've got a serving table, stacks in there, and then they get washed in this sink, and then they get placed in there. They don't work differently to, well, originally what they did was, as far as I can tell anyway, the implementation was different to what the normal logistic stuff was. When you go over into this stuff here, it was completely different from this. It worked on a different system, and it just didn't gel well. But now it's the same, and it all works fantastically well, which is fine. We only had one problem, but that was mainly due to the a massive problem with the staff needs and stuff, where we had a couple of events and such, but there you go. Anyway, on this side we've got visitation right near the reception, so it's quite good because of deployment. So you can see this have staff only, we've got access only, so all that works fantastically well. So obviously we've only got a very, very small yard, and there's a lot of people congregating around here because these are all of the gangs that I've put in. The Nightingales in the centre going, yeah, I think I'm in the wrong neighbourhood. Anyway, if we go up the top, obviously this goes to all of the, I guess you would call it like the tertiary buildings. So you've got chapel, you've got shops, you've got the laundry, classroom, common room. I guess some of these are some of these are required. Like the laundry is required, the common room is required, the infirmary is required. But you can do without the chapel, the shop, the classroom. You can even do without parole if you really want to do that, because, well, in the type of facility we've gone, which is very, very, very high risk, and also a lot of people, basically we're kicking out, we've got a lot of suppression. As you can see, we've got 133 prisons suppressed, so it means that even if you don't put these things in, and they're very unhappy about not having parole, or not happy about not having their spirituality need fulfilled and things like that, guess what? They're not going to kick off because you are suppressing them, so you can do that, but we decided to put them in. And that was the overall build. Obviously, we've also got a wall around the outside where we've got patrols and stuff, so yeah. We've had a couple of escapes, or a couple of escape attempts. Some people trying to do a bit of a blitz out, but they didn't even get as far as, well, they didn't even get here. Most of them, they would try to run out from here, and then immediately you'd get a line from the sniper, and then, nah, it's not happening. Then on top of that, we had a couple of digging attempts, which is mainly around here, around this area here, trying to dig out to the left. They didn't get anywhere near the edge. They didn't even get inside this perimeter, which is good. We did get the warden, which is I think it's J.R. Periwinkle. J.W. Periwinkle, and they have an ability, or rather, they give the other guards an ability, the guard dogs, to have a 50% chance of uncovering tunnels that they sniff out. But we've never really used it. It's never been utilised because they've never had to do it. They've never went over a tunnel and found it, I don't think, anyway, at least not on the edge. And then we decided to expand. So the expansion was always going to be adding additional things that we don't have. So specifically, we wanted the workshops, which we have 2 of, as you can see, which are actually doing quite well. We've got a lot of work in there, and it's giving us a decent amount of intake and daily cash flow per day. It's increased the daily cash flow somewhat. We've got additional cell blocks because we just wanted more prisoners, and then we have the death row on the left hand side. So you've got 3 death row cells. You've got the parole, which is actually death row appeals, and then finally you've got the execution there. Looks like our other person here, which is Brendan Hannessy, is on 19% chance of clemency. There we go. And then we've got execution, security in the centre, not execution. Executions on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we've got the solitary, which we still didn't need. I mean, we managed to do this facility, the entire thing, without any solitary whatsoever, and it worked fantastically well. I mean, if you look over to our prison grading here, you can see the punishment has actually gone down, surprisingly. Punishment was on 7, I believe, but punishment is going down for some reason. But we didn't have solitary, and I don't think we need it, personally. I think we've added this for, I wouldn't say no reason, it was good to get it, but it was more of a ticky box completion state, to be honest with you. But in any event, as you can see, we've got solitary, and it works quite well. But if I was going to do another facility like this, I wouldn't bother. I just wouldn't bother with solitary at all. I don't think it's necessary. And then obviously we've got some protective custody cells, which I would probably add a couple more. Oh, there's a couple of deaths here. Looks like there's some fighting inside, and everybody's put their hands up because we've got free fire on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, why does it say no deaths today? Oh, that's because it's just turned over to the other day. Fine. And then we've got the power station over here, which is something that I did completely omitted. I didn't think that we would. Actually, it's not that I didn't think we wouldn't need it. It completely slipped my mind. Obviously, this thing here is running very, very warm, but it completely slipped my mind that we'll need another one for the workshop, which is why we've got it in there. But that's pretty much it. In terms of the design, what would I change? I can't really think of much, to be honest with you. Obviously, this building here this room doesn't have any purpose, so I would probably change that up. I'd probably make the staff room and the canteen right next to each other with just a door between the two. That would probably be better. I don't think I would increase the canteen or the kitchen because they are about the right size, same as visitation. I would put a perimeter wall, but that's mainly due to cash. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, you can see I've only got 6 grand now rather than the 20 odd that I had at the end of last episode. That's because I have paid it back into the bank because I did put it in the earlier on in the series. So I think we're all squared away now. That's fine. I would probably move these, this big row here. I would just have a row of cells going straight up. I would move these up to here, but that's mainly an expansion thing, so yeah. I certainly wouldn't bother putting in the solitary. I would probably get death row earlier. I don't know. I'm really not too sure about that one. To be honest with you, I think this is one of the better facilities we've made. In fact, it's one of the best, I would say. I think it is one of the best we've made. It is obviously very, very, very high risk. We've got 123 maximum security prisoners, 17 normal, 4 minimum, and 2 death row. We've had prisons that have had a high capacity. We've had ones that have had supermax prisoners and more violent prisoners, but none that have been able to effectively deal with them, especially when it goes south. So if it does kick off, this facility is very, very, very well equipped to quench that, to quell the unrest, as it were, because we've got, for a start, we've got a lot of suppression going around. We've got, obviously, armed guards before that, and there's immediately, there you go, look, it's kicked off, and boom. Didn't really want to do that, that sort of quelling, or is it culling? That guy's dead. Anyway, didn't want to do that, but as you can see, it effectively stops any riot in its tracks, just immediately whack, straight away. And we've got, obviously, the snipers, so anyone who tries to kick off, they have to run at these sniper towers, and they've got multiple lines of sights, so if they really try to boot off around here, they will have line of sight to at least one sniper. If they go to the centre, there's multiple snipers. In terms of escape, it's very, very difficult. We've got obviously a lot of large jail doors, we've got automatic door openers, but the only really weakness is if you bust in here, you can break the door control system and all the doors open, but then you're right next to the kennel, and then the armory there as well. So yeah, if you got to that point, then good luck to you. To be fair, it's you know, it's you've put the graft in to get to this point and continue on. We've actually got a new death row inmate. Let's have a quick look. They've also got a really, really, really long name. It is Ashley James Frank Gray Ouroboros No Mercy. I'm not even going to read the rest of it out because that's enough reading for one day, and looks like they've got a 44% chance, or 42% chance of having their sentence reduced. But anyway, yeah, in terms of the rest of the design, I think it's fine. It's very efficient. Obviously, this is was it a small or medium? Hang on. It is a 80. That's a small, right? Is that small or a medium? I think it might be a medium. Yeah, it might be a medium. Anyway, whatever size this started off as, why have we got so many mail bags? Look at that. Okay, that's a lot of mail. Have I just not, like, assigned people? No, there's definitely people working in the mail room. It's just for some reason it's taking them an age to sort through all of this. Maybe it's just not big enough. I don't think the mail room's big enough. Yeah, that's all it is. Ah, well, whatever. So, yeah, as I said, I would make some slight alterations. Like, I would probably make the infirmary a little bit smaller, chapel a little bit bigger, maybe make, well, as you see, the mailroom a bit bigger, workshops a bit bigger, but that's all, like, scale. But in terms of the overall theme and what we try to accomplish and the execution of it, it's worked. It's worked very, very well. We could easily scale this up to a large map and then expand. If I was going to expand, I would probably go ahead and think about having more room to do that, so I would think about these connectors here going to either side, like because if I expanded to the left, I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't just be able to expand these cell blocks. I don't think I would be able to do that. But anyway, that's the overall idea of it. I have thoroughly enjoyed building it. I hope you have enjoyed watching it and seeing how it progresses. So we currently have 143 prisoners, and, well, what I'm going to do a bit of a completion thing here. I want to do the riot, but a lot of people were a bit upset that we didn't shove anyone in the electric chair, and I don't know if that's worrying or not, but this guy, Brendan Fawkes Hennessy, he's got a 19% likelihood of clemency. We're still going to do the execution. So we'll authorize lockdown. We'll authorize a test of this facility. And we will authorize, well, we'll assemble execution detail and escort witnesses to facility. And let's see how this goes. Now, I have a feeling this is going to be a bit of a fail here, because obviously I'm putting this guy in the chair at essentially a 1 in 5 chance that this guy is not guilty, or at least would be his sentence would have been reduced if we had waited longer. This is something I've never ever done in Prison Architect. I've never activated this when it's on such a high risk of being broken, essentially, of being wrong. You know, you can go about the morals about all of this sort of thing. We've been through that before, all of that sort of thing. But yeah, I've never actually put someone in the chair in this game with such a high chance of or high likelihood of him being either A, not guilty, or B, chance of his sentence being reduced and such. So yeah. It's something I'm just doing because it's like the end of the series. Some people wanted to see that, not everybody, but a lot of people said they wanted to see this go off. So I thought this will be the last video. Well, obviously we'll go through and do everything. Retrospective, put the guy in the chair, and then yeah, a bit of the old ultraviolence later on. So here we go. You can see there's Periwinkle, there's the chief, and there's the execution's witness. I'm trying to force these doors open here. Doesn't matter what speed you have this. It's fairly slow. Look at that. It's really, really, really slow, the walk there. They'll come in. So we've got, what's this? That's execution's witness. That's Hennessy's father. That's the victim's family that sits next to them, which is an interesting one. We've got another witness, another family victim, his wife, and another victim. So, Hennessy, Brendan, age 26, prison number 43659. 57, so sorry and all that. It's just a test. Click, and there it is. Dismiss staff, and that's all done. And now what we'll do is get the final report and see if what we've done is I was going to say wrong, but then that's more of a moral thing. That looks like that's notch. Anyway, we'll authorize, and so. The mandate execution of Brendan was carried out at 6:06 as scheduled by electric chair. The presence of witness. The standard compensation of 10,000 generic units of currency is awarded to the institution for their part in the process. So it didn't pop up to say that what had happened was like. Sometimes it pops up and says it was later found out to be, you know, erroneous, or he should have been free and things like that. It didn't pop up. So hopefully that's worked out quite well. Anyway, so there's that. What else? Well, I know you would like to see a bit of the old rioting. Where is it? Staff. So we've got instant riot, we've got instant jailbreak, instant fight, and instant calm. So instant fight is just that. They start fighting, but it's not a riot. Instant calm, the exact opposite. It just puts them to calming. Instant jailbreak is they all try to run out. They all try to run out of this door. Instant riot is just what it says, where they just immediately try and riot and they take over everything. And then we've got the Sambot Special, which just says good luck, and what it does is arm every single prisoner in the facility, and then they kick off and riot. Yeah, I think I'll click that one. And click. So, immediately, as you can see, every single prisoner, including him, is armed. So we've got, well, some of them are armed with different things, armed to various degrees. We've got shotguns, we've got handguns, we've got drills, lighters, made-up clubs, self-manufactured clubs, improvised weapons. We've got batons, we've got machine guns, we've got weapons that... Oh, there's Chris. There's Chris Delay. And as you can hear, it's immediately booting off. What on earth? And yeah, that happened. Oh my good grief. See all the shots coming out there? We've still got some people... Oh, that guy's like holding an Uzi, just absolutely gunning everybody down. Look at that. He's not stopping either. He's also got one of those James Bond guns or John Wick guns where it just doesn't run out. Actually, John Wick does run out. That's what makes the film good at times. Well, not at times, at all times, because John Wick's an amazing film. Yeah, that happened. But also we managed to put it down straight away. I mean, we put it down because there was 47 people killed, and most of it, as you can see, sort of, well, lots of dead bodies around here. But there's still 117 prisoners still alive. But I mean, this is going to be one of those things where the governor will contact us at the end of the day and say, right, that's too many prisoners died in the facility, pack it in. But it shows you that under even the most extreme of circumstances, so all of the prisoners congregating around one area, because I did activate one around here as well as, like, basically in this big line, giving them, all of them having weapons, ranging from sniper rifles to a club that they've made themselves, they still were not able to really make any sort of dent in the facility. A couple of them managed to get here, but they didn't get into this area where there's a dog, and they certainly didn't come out and along to this part here. I don't know how they're dead. So maybe they did get this far. Oh no, there is someone out there, look. Andrew Morgan is riding outside there. I never noticed that. So they did manage to get out, but they're not able to get through this door. Or if they are, oh, they are able to get through this door. Okay, they just haven't run out. Fine. Okay, so we did manage to have, well, they did manage to get out around here. So, you know, to be fair, we could have had one person escape. But I don't think that's too bad, considering just how many prisoners there were and how many are armed. And that guy's getting a line of sight. Has he got a laser? Yeah, he's got a laser dot on that guy's head. But yeah, that's it. That is the end of our Update 12 facility. I hope you have enjoyed the build and all of the other associated videos where we try to escape and we do 3D tours and obviously things like this. In terms of the future of the series, that's Brendan. Oh, he was killed over here, not over here. Anyway, yeah, in terms of futures of the series, I'll be seeing what happens with Prison Architect. Probably won't do another series until we get another big update on this thing. I think Introversion are now committed to bringing a couple of updates out every now and again. So I think it's every 3-6 months they're going to knock a fairly decent update out, as far as I think they were saying in the last video. But we'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes. And if there's any interesting mods and stuff, we'll jump on that. But for the time being, that is the end of this and the end of the series. Hope you have enjoyed the series, the build, and everything else. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.